Welcome to Black Investments Matter on the Ujamaa Network. This is Antoine Anderson, and we're talking about the fallout of the Binance departure of CZ. This is earth-shattering news in the crypto world. Let's see what it actually means to you and I as avid centralized exchange users. To understand fully what the significance of Zhao's departure from Binance really means, we have to talk about centralized versus decentralized networks. We're also going to be talking about KYC, or Know Your Customer, how that has to do with what happened here. And finally, we're really going to have to go into what the future holds for cryptocurrency users within the US as the US continues to practice regulation through litigation in order to bring these exchanges under a control, a centralized control. Let's talk about it. Champing Zhao woke up yesterday morning as the head of his own company. Within a few hours, he was no longer the head of his company that he founded. He was personally out of $50 million, and the company he founded, Binance, is now going to have to cough up $4.3 billion. This is what I call a bad day. Champing Zhao is the face of what transpired with the FTX debacle. It was his potential merger or purchase of FTX that caused the debacle. If it wasn't for him, we would not have known the scope of what was going on with FTX. Now, to have the federal government then go after him and then charge him with money laundering, and then Champing Zhao pleading guilty to it, it opens the door for so much more regulation, and it's needed regulation over the entire crypto sphere. The United States has shown that it is definitely resilient to any form of cryptocurrency exchanges, be them centralized or decentralized. But centralized cryptocurrencies exchanges, where you can purchase and buy cryptocurrency freely, they have to have some type of checks and balances. The checks and balances here is KYC, or Know Your Customer. Without it, you have anonymity, which is the case with a decentralized network. Some of the advantages that we're going to be talking about have to do with those two distinctions. Let's first start off with exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, Uphold, and Kraken. These are centralized exchanges. And a centralized exchange focuses on ease of use, multiple cryptocurrency offerings, but lack of control, meaning that the exchange heads have more control of the currency that you own on their exchange than you would on a decentralized network. Now, some of the decentralized exchanges, PancakeSwap, 1inch, those are the ones where you have a focus on anonymity, meaning that you cannot be tracked or recognized on a decentralized exchange. Your transactions are anonymous, and there lies some of the problem with decentralized exchanges and the money laundering charge that Mr. Zhao was pleading guilty to. So you don't know where this money is coming from and how it's being distributed or how it's being gathered. You know, it could be from terrorism. It could be from drug lords. That was the case. That was what was charged in this indictment, in this case, which led to Mr. Zhao's departure. Not to say that money laundering is this new thing. It's just the act of cleaning up dirty money, right? By using other means, in this case, cryptocurrency, to take the cash clean it up without the benefit of like having a shell business like they did in the past and earlier forms of money laundering. You just don't have that because you don't know where the money came from and you can't track it. Here's the difference. With a centralized exchange, you have something called KYC, or Know Your Customer. You have to provide more information about yourself as the buyer or seller to even participate in these exchanges. This is what the big difference is between decentralized and centralized networks or centralized exchanges. Without that distinction, you have the type of thing that goes on right now. I find that without a true path forward in this country, the US has definitely shown its hand that it is not with this decentralized notion. You're not just going to be able to circumvent the US dollar willy nilly without Uncle Sam getting his cut. That's just what it is. You have more tax reporting tools in a centralized network. And if crypto is going to survive in the US, you have to adopt some more regulations, whereas bad actors cannot keep coming in, circumventing rules, and then causing the kind of debacle that we saw with FTX and everybody losing their shirts. It's not that complicated after all. We know that in order for this thing to work for everybody, there's going to have to be some regulation. Now, is that regulation going to have to be done through court action? So far, that's what it seems like. At the same time, without a centralizer or the freedom to use centralized networks like a Binance, sellers as well as buyers are going to be left wondering, hey, is this going to be the next Gemini where you can't trade anymore? What happens to all the coins on that exchange? How do we get our money on and off safely? These are questions that's going to have to be answered. It didn't sit well with me how fast this happened. However, at the current time, it doesn't seem that Binance is going to fold by any stretch of the imaginations. Binance US, that whole subsidiary was created to try to comply with the United States regulation. I think as time goes on, exchanges like Coinbase, Kraken, Uphold, those are going to be more of the areas where you can still safely and securely buy your cryptocurrency, but with greater KYC than Binance had. I'm going to go ahead and cut the conversation off here. As you know, there's a lot to unpack and digest. There's not a whole lot left to say. With the two biggest cases in cryptocurrency now settled, that was XRP and FTX. Having a third, the largest exchange, have this kind of news is not going to sit well with the broader crypto market. Let me know what you think. Remember, all money's not good money. Let me say that again. All money's not good money. Watch how you spend it and watch how you buy and sell cryptocurrency. Talk to you later.